Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jeff from BKJmacTV, and this is the BKJmac podcast experience, and this is season 2, episode 31. Today, I like to give the Sacramento Kings from California, the Sacramento Kings, a round of applause. Let me tell you, when they brought in Mike Brown, that man changed the culture. Remember, he's coming from Golden State. He was the top assistant associate coach under Steve Kerr for the Golden State Warriors, and the Warriors won the championship last season. I went to a Kings game last season, and I saw them against the Brooklyn Nets. They weren't good at all. They just weren't good. They literally suck. They were awful. They were really, really bad. And the Nets ended up blowing them out. I believe I went to that game on Valentine's Day 2022. That game was just awful. And I think Alvin Gentry was the head coach last season. And let me tell you, there was a lot of dysfunction with that team. Trades were made. Domantas Sabonis had just came on in the team from the Indiana Pacers. It was a wild ride, and they basically stink last year. But this year, they did a 360 spin, a 360 change. And they went from that awful team that I saw at the Barclays last season on Valentine's Day to a very exceptional basketball team on the floor this season in 2023. Let me tell you, I was so proud because I tuned in and I watched a series of Kings basketball game, especially when they played at home, and then every time they got a win, they had to light the beam. It was a very, very interesting experience. I must say, it was very interesting to watch a lot of Kings games this past season. And let me tell you, Mike Brown was able to turn around the culture significantly. And let me tell you, the last time the Kings made it to the playoffs was in 2006. I was in school many, many, many years ago. Sometimes I still can't believe all those years has passed. But yes, it's been since 2006 since the Kings made it to the playoffs. And on that team, they had Mike Bibby and Peja Suriakovic. Need I say more? The team finally, since 2006, the Sacramento Kings have made it to the playoffs, has clinched their ticket to the postseason for 2023. My God. That tells you a lot. Literally, that tells you a lot. All right, guys, I'm going to read you an article. It is from my main man, Mark J. Spears from ESPN. And he basically reflects on what I had just said on this podcast about the Sacramento Kings. His article titles, Kings clinch first playoff berth since 2006 with win over Blazers. After a 16-year hiatus, it was only right that the Sacramento Kings punched their own ticket back into the NBA playoffs with a 120-80 win over the Portland Trail Blazers on Wednesday night. The Kings had been eligible to qualify for the playoffs since Saturday, but had been coming up shy of getting the needed wins from themselves and other teams. Entering play Wednesday, Sacramento was set to clinch its first playoff berth since the 2005-06 season with a road win against the Trailblazers, a Minnesota Timberwolves road loss against the Phoenix Suns, or an LA Clippers road loss against the Memphis Grizzlies. But the Kings did it on their own, beating the Blazers after the Clippers won and before the Wolves game came to a conclusion. When it comes to the NFL, NHL, MLB, and NBA, there was no franchise with a playoff drought longer than the 16-year one that belonged to the Kings. The 2005-06 Kings won 44 games and lost in the first round of the playoffs to the San Antonio Spurs. Since then, Sacramento had been the jester of the NBA, failing to earn a winning record in any season entering 2022-2023 season. The small market franchise was stymied by numerous bad draft picks since 2006, while passing on the now NBA superstars likes of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Giannis, Zach LaVine, Bam Adebayo, Luka Doncic, and Trae Young. Man. Now let me tell you something. What Mr. Spears points out, basically the Kings suck. Like they really suck. Like they were really, like literally, they suck. Like it was basically poor management. I think it was the Maloof brothers who had owned the team, and then they sold it to a new business partner. And let me tell you, that new owner, governor, man, abysmal. It's like the guy couldn't even get it right. They had to go through DeMarcus Cousins. They had George Karl as head coach. They had so many different coaches. It became the Kings became a laughing stock of the NBA. It was a joke. Literally, the Kings were the joke, were the butt of the NBA, and it wasn't fun being the butt of the NBA. It was just disgusting. It was pretty pathetic. Literally pretty pathetic. And they had when they made it to the playoffs in 05-06 season, they won 44 games. Let me tell you, they couldn't even clear 44 games for God knows how many seasons. 16 years. You're telling me you couldn't clear more than 44 wins? It really tells you how inept these billionaires and these managers were when they came to managing the Sacramento Kings. And you know who suffered for it? The fan base. Absolutely, the fan base suffered for it. But no more, because the 2022-2023 Sacramento Kings entered the bell, and Mike Brown really took the Sacramento Kings to the next level. Let me see. Let's go in. The Kings even traded then NBA All-Star DeMarcus Cousins on the day of the 2017 All-Star game, which was pretty bad. It was really, really bad. A near move to Seattle was halted by late NBA Commissioner David Stern and the NBA Board of Governors Relocation Committee. So basically, they were about to move to Seattle, and David Stern said, no, we're keeping him in Sacramento. When the Kings acquired Domantas Sabonis for up-and-coming young star Tyrese Halliburton last season, the expectation was that they had made yet another bad trade. But on the contrary, it was a win-win for both teams, as Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox immediately showed the makings of a superstar duo, and both became 2023 NBA All-Stars. Come training camp time, former NBA champion Harrison Barnes was still on the roster, and a capable scorer to go along Fox and Sabonis. Sacramento also drafted Keegan Murray, a Las Vegas Summer League MVP, who on Wednesday set the NBA record for three-pointers made by a rookie. The Kings acquired two hot-scoring veteran guards, Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, who both predicted a playoff appearance during their introductory news conference. And last but not least, Sacramento hired Mike Brown after he had coached the Los Angeles Lakers and Cleveland Cavaliers and won 3 championships as an associate head coach with the Warriors. Brown, a projected frontrunner for the 2023 NBA Coach of the Year award, has pushed his players to dream bigger than just making it to the postseason. Basically, yeah, Mike Brown did it. Definitely Mike Brown changed the culture of that team. And Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk were right when they predicted that the Kings were going to make the playoffs. That was a great bet to take. It wasn't just our goal to just make the playoffs, Brown said. Hey, let's be like everybody else. Let's try to win a championship just like everybody else. That's why we're doing this, and don't set a bar that's too low for us to attain as a group. So we've been talking positively about our season from day one, and trying to instill that belief in them from day one has been a big focus of mine. The guys seem to believe it and buy into it, and every little win or every little success that we have as a group has just added fuel to the fire and helped with the belief, which is extremely important. Sometimes you can have a team that people may view as maybe not as talented as another team, but if they're connected, they believe they can be a dangerous group. The Kings looked like the same old Kings when they opened this season with an 0-4 record. However, they rebounded quickly and began garnering some notice that they might be for real when they arrived to 2023 with a 19-15 mark. The Kings entered Wednesday's road game against the Trailblazers with a 45-30 overall record and a Western Conference best 22-14 away mark. Former Kings center Brad Miller, who played on the franchise's last playoff team, said he began believing today's Kings were for real in December. They lost early in the season, and everyone got on the Kings. Miller, who played for the franchise from 2003 to 2009, told ESPN, but the road record has been great for them. You saw them come together. Sabonis has been a playmaker that has helped get Fox more open for what he is better at, too. The strings have been pulled out from everywhere this season. So, basically, the Kings did it. The Kings did it. It was an amazing opportunity, and I am so proud that they did it. It's long overdue. The Kings have not played in an NBA postseason game since May 5th, 2006 at Arco Arena in Sacramento. As a projected higher seed, the Kings are expected to host their first playoff game in 17 years at the Golden One Center in downtown. Miller, a regular at Kings home games, might tailgate with the fans once the playoffs arrive. They haven't made the playoffs since I was here, Miller said. I've been watching them all of these years. I told one of my friends it will be awesome to be on the other side experiencing this as a fan when they make it. They were tailgating 3 to 4 hours before a playoff game. At the first one I was at in Arco Arena. These fans are into it. We can finally get to see the true potential at Golden One Center. Finally, the Golden One Center will finally get an NBA playoff game from the Sacramento Kings. It's been a long time coming, and honestly, I'm proud of the Sacramento Kings. Like Mark Spears said in this article, in this wonderful written article, the Kings are back. They did it. They had some adversity in the beginning of the season when they went 0-4, but they believed in each other. Mike Brown preached it. De'Aaron Fox believed it. Sabonis believed it. Malik Monk believed it. Huerter believed it. Keegan Murray believed it. This Harrison Barnes believed it. And Mike Brown leading this group, they all believed in the message. And I like the cool fact, like the beam. Overall, Brad Miller, who played on the last playoff team back in 2006, he also believed in them. So, welcome, Kings, to the playoffs, and let's see how far you can go this postseason. Thank you. Congratulations to the Kings. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode by BKJmacTV. Peace, love, always. One.